You guys tell me, is this fast or what? Teardown of the CU250 engine begins now. Let's see how it compares to the QJMotor 300 and the Benda 300. Are there actually any differences? Let's check the exterior first. Look at the water jacket. This side has internal water channels. The water inlet is located right here between the front and rear cylinders. This path is for the main coolant circulation. By designing it with internal water channels, there aren't as many exposed radiator hoses on the outside. After all, too many hoses look ugly, right? It's also not ideal for spatial layout. Note that the crankcase breather valve is located here. The engine model is the Loncin CU250. Let's open the clutch cover and see what's inside. Inside here is the secondary air recirculation valve. And this spinning part is the water pump. These two are placed together. Now we can see the internal structure. This at the bottom right is the counterbalance shaft. The balancer is positioned at the bottom right, not aligned on the same axis as the crankshaft center. This design makes the engine more compact, to the point where, at first, I didn't even realize this engine had a balancer shaft. This clutch is a slipper clutch. Look at the clutch plates, they are paper-based friction plates. Pulling out the clutch basket. This clutch is manufactured by Chongqing. The outer diameter of the clutch is quite large. This is likely for better riding comfort. Now let's look at the oil pump drive system. It is driven by a chain. The crankshaft drive gear uses a staggered tooth structure. You can also call it a silent gear. This entire oil pump drive assembly appears to be modeled after the KE525. Let's look at the balancer shaft gear. It also has a staggered tooth structure. Basically, if you wanted to modify it later, there's no need, it comes with it out of the box. Check out the gear shift shaft. I suspect this shift shaft was also pulled straight from the KE525 engine. Take a look for yourselves, don't they? Look identical? Just the position is different. So, how did I get this engine? Actually, on the launch day, I talked too much. Someone just asked me where Loncin's engine came from. I said, look at the Benda 300. And the QJ300, doesn't it look just like those? Before I could even finish my sentence, a Loncin employee overheard me. The next day, they held me back to take this engine apart. They told me to find the differences myself. Then during the official presentation, I was surprised to see them introducing the balancer shaft. No wonder when I was riding it, I thought, why is the vibration so low? But I didn't think it was because of a balancer. Not to mention the other 300 cubic centimeters and 350 cubic centimeters V-twin engines on the market. Even the Yamaha 15250 and the Steed 400 don't have balancer shafts. Seeing this, I decided to stay an extra day and brought one back from the production line to strip down. I bet everyone is just as curious as I am. Let's look at the cylinder head. The head is a SOHC, for valve per cylinder structure. It uses roller rocker arms. Notice that these rocker arms have ball end adjusters. With these ball ends, it significantly extends the interval for valve clearance adjustments. Simply put, the valve clearance is less likely to drift or loosen. Let's look at the camshaft. The camshaft bearings are from CNU. Both of them. Now look at the cylinder block. The block is cast iron. Let's focus on the exposed part of the cylinder sleeve. It's encased in a layer of aluminum. This is much better for heat dissipation of the sleeve. Look closely at the edge of the sleeve. This is a spiny sleeve, thorny design. The other brand's cylinder doesn't have the aluminum cladding. The timing chain guides are made of nylon. Let's see the piston. The pistons are fully coated with molybdenum disulfide, MOS2. The crown has undergone a microarc oxidation process. The first compression ring is DLC, diamond-like carbon, treated. The second ring uses a PVD, physical vapor deposition, process. And the oil ring is also DLC treated. This is a cast piston with advanced treatments. Not a forged piston. Cruisers don't require extreme performance. You typically don't see forged pistons in this category. No need to explain the cylinder on this side further. The heads and blocks on both sides are identical. As for buying advice, I suggest you take it for a test ride. Look over here. Do you see those two small holes? Those are oil cooling jets. They are used to spray oil to cool the cylinder walls and pistons. Both front and rear cylinders have them. The rear cylinder has harsher operating conditions, and its temperature will be higher than the front one. Adding oil jets for the cylinders and pistons is a very good move. In the Yamaha jog video I posted a few days ago, it also used oil spray jets for cooling. Oh, right, I forgot to check the timing chain earlier. Let's look now. The timing chains on both sides are the same. They are Japanese-did timing chains. Since the CU250 was released, have you noticed how fierce the competition is? It seems every manufacturer is taking the 250 cubic centimeters cruiser market very seriously, right? Check the crankshaft bearings. They are CNU P5 grade bearings. Flip it over and look at this side. The main shaft bearing is from NTN, Japan. This location is quite critical. If you remember my teardown of the Honda 190, the main shaft bearing was prone to failure. Here, Loncin directly used imported NTN bearings. The shift drum bearing is from Changjiang. Others are CNU. The crankshaft is a dishing crank from Qingdao. This right here is the balancer shaft. Just this small piece of iron can drastically reduce engine vibration. Now look at the crankcase bearings. The balancer uses CNU. Pay attention to bearings. Starting with TM. TM means they have undergone special heat treatment. Removing the shift fork shaft. Look at the shift drum. This shift drum is made quite large. From a design standpoint, it makes shifting feel more precise. Well, you guys can test ride it and leave your feedback in the comments. It felt pretty good to me when I rode it. Removing the main and counter shafts, that's the teardown finished. Let me give you a summary, because after the strip down, you'll want to know where the differences lie. It's known that the Benda 300 and QJ300 use reverse-engineered, small block 300 cubic centimeters engines. I thought this one was too. But after the teardown, as you can see, this machine compared to them is not just highly similar in the cylinder head. Everywhere else, especially inside the crankcase. Inside the clutch cover, including the case bottom structure, it's completely different. Plus, it has this balancer shaft. The piston also uses micro-oxidation plus MOS2 coating. In my previous Benda 300 video, you saw that one used a graphite-coated piston. The QJ Flash version is the same, but the QJ Flash 350 piston is the same as this one, micro-oxidation plus MOS2. The rocker arms have ball ends, which they don't. The exposed part of the iron cylinder sleeve has aluminum cladding. Benda doesn't have this, but QJMotor does. Why am I comparing them? Because they are all V-twin cruisers. The TR400/450 is a single cylinder, so there's no point in comparing. And this clutch is also different, its operation is different. The QJ and Benda require a large push rod to push the clutch open. This clutch is a pull-to-release type. It doesn't use a push rod. Compared to them, it also has added oil spray jets. This side also has internal water channels. The breather valve is here. Theirs is located on top of the cylinder head. Anyway, overall, the cylinder head looks similar, but everything else is completely different. I recommend you all go for a test ride. If you like this, please give a thumbs up. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.